Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of the Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, the Ohio Patriot. For today's episode, we are going to talk about Rhino scumbag Jon Husted, the guy who was the ex-lieutenant governor of the state of Ohio and was appointed to the U.S. Senate 18 days ago by Mike DeWine, and why Jon Husted just cost himself re-election in the 2026 primaries for voting in red flag creator herself, Pam Bondi. For those who know who Pam Bondi is the ex-AG of Florida, who is solely responsible, or at least heavily responsible anyway. I'm not sure about solely, but she was definitely the champion of it, of creating red flag laws in the state of Florida in 2018 when she was AG at a state level. And we have been actively calling out Husted and other people in the U.S. Senate for the past couple of weeks now, telling them straight up, be like, do not vote this woman into the AG's office at a federal level, dude. She is an oath-breaking piece of shit cunt. She has no business being in that fucking position. And if you do this, you are gone from politics after this shit. We will primary you. We will make sure that you are gone in upcoming election cycles. And yeah, Husted didn't listen. He had every chance to keep himself in that race, keep himself in the running, keep himself in the U.S. Senate after 2026, but he failed. He failed Ohioans, he failed Americans, and so did 53 others today, because it was 54 to 46 was the vote. And it's sad because it seems like it was almost a party line vote. It was almost all Democrats said no to Pam Bondi. Every Republican, a couple Democrats said yes to Pam Bondi. And really, I think we need 54 new senators, what it is right now. Because anybody that voted for this woman is a complete oath-breaking sack of shit, really. How are you, seriously, how are you going to vote in someone who has actively cost tens of thousands of Floridians their Second Amendment rights through the most unconstitutional legislation ever created, being red flag laws that legitimately break almost the entire Bill of Rights, as well as the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, and are going to sit there with a straight face and be like, oh no, I should totally be the Attorney General of America. No, you shouldn't. And that's what I'm saying. Husted is a piece of shit, dude. And it's a bunch of BS. Unfortunately, I'm still not at my new, I'm going to comment section. I'm still at the new place right now. I'm at my sister's in Columbus, so I'm not going to put on the camera or anything like that right now. So, but yeah, just want to come in here and talk about scumbag Jon Husted for a minute, who was appointed to the U.S. Senate, has no business being in the U.S. Senate, and it's a situation where Pam has no business being AG, and Jon and the other people that voted for her through are now showing their true colors, that they don't give a shit about Americans' gun rights, they don't give a shit about America at all, and they're all a bunch of scumbags. And it's really that simple, honestly. And I will be, in the coming months, looking for someone to primary Jon Husted in 2026. Hopefully someone with a little bit of cash behind him, because unfortunately that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a lot to get out an incumbent senator right now, which is sadly what Husted is considered right now. And it's a bunch of BS, because the man has no business being appointed to that position. He was a garbage-ass lieutenant governor. He should actually be in state prison right now, if not federal prison right now, along with Mike DeWine, because when they were running for governor and lieutenant governor respectively in 2018, they openly took bribes as campaign donations from the same people that were behind the HB6 scandal to literally create this BS to give these guys basically carte blanche to fuck up our state and create all kinds of toxins in our air supply and stuff like that. So yeah, that was just one of many things that they did that was criminal stuff. DeWine's done a lot more than Husted has, obviously, but Jon's also done a lot of shady criminal shit as lieutenant governor over the last 7-ish years now here in the state of Ohio. So yeah, but I honestly would like to congratulate Jon, because the fact that it took him less than 3 weeks to prove he's a rhino sack of shit with this vote is very telling, honestly. And it really tells me that, you don't care about the American people, because if you did, you'd be like, no, I'm not going to vote this woman through, and this is why. And you would have proved on a constitutional basis of exactly why Pam does not belong in the U.S. Senate, does not belong in the United States Attorney General's office, what it is. But instead, you went party line vote. and proved again that you don't belong in the U.S. Senate is what it is. So, anyway, as it is right now, I'm still in talks with some people about running for state house myself right now, which is mostly going to be what will happen there. I mean, I could always go like township trustee in the new place I'm going to move to, but like, I don't know if that's really worth it, honestly. I'd rather try to get state level stuff just because what I'd like to accomplish is going to take state level work to get done. So, anyway, I also do want to point out that apparently as of tomorrow morning, there is a bunch of leftists planning what can only be described as an actual insurrection in this country at every single state house across America, from Ohio to California to Maryland, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all across the board right now. And it's supposed to be, they claim it's a protest to combat Project 2025, yet nobody's actually running on the Project 2025 platform. So, yeah, it's really just a way for them to show their ignorance. And I honestly think it's a Soros paid thing is what it is. Like most of the shit is. It's just like the same thing when you had that sack of shit Hakeem Jeffries the other day in the U.S. Senate talking about, or sorry, not U.S. Senate, in the U.S. After U.S. Congress was what it was there, him talking about how there needed to be like resistance in the streets to Trump or something like that. And within like 2 days, there was a bunch of people waving Mexican flags and every other flag of every other country in the streets against mass deportation and stuff like that, and causing all kinds of havoc in states like California, Oregon, etc. So, yeah, this shit is not by accident. It's all coordinated crap is what it is, dude. It needs to be treated as such at this point. And the same deal with there. It needs to be, if you are actively sitting in any position of power in this country and you are openly calling for violence against the American people, you need to be removed from office for high treason at this point. And that's what needs to happen to Hakeem Jeffries is what it is. So, but yeah, Husted, like I said, is a piece of shit. I knew he was a piece of shit before this whole thing. I'm not surprised DeWine appointed him because he's just a yes man, basically. And the saddest thing is, and I think it's kind of ironic telling stuff, because idiot Mike DeWine was like, oh, we need somebody who can win races. It's like, except Husted can't win races. That's the entire point, dude. Like, why would you ever appoint that guy? You had so many better options. They could have put Vivek in that seat. They could have put anybody else in that seat that would have been better than that. Hell, there's ex-state reps here in the state of Ohio that are better than fucking Jon Husted was. So, I don't think we really have a city council in the city I'm moving to. So, I mean, I guess technically I could probably run for mayor of the town. But, again, like, if I wanted to do certain things, like the things I'm looking at doing, would all need to be me being either a state rep or a state senator, because it'd be legislation I'd like to see passed. So, I mean, yeah, if I was sitting in like a lower position of power, I could talk to other people that are in the state house at the time or whatever about like, hey, you should do this or whatever the case be, and it would be at least a little bit more sway than the average person, obviously. But I'd rather just have the seat is what it is and be able to introduce legislation myself and get it done that way is what it is. So, which would all be pro-choice stuff, by the way. It would also be really constitutional-based things at that point. So, but anyway, that's about it for this episode. I will be back, hopefully, about 2 weeks from now is what we're figuring. I will be in the new place, hopefully, by then. So, at that point, I'll be back doing daily streaming and stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, though, that's pretty much it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see y'all on the next one. Fuck Jon Husted. He needs to be primary. We need to find a primary challenger for him, if not more than one for that matter. And just really get somebody else in there that gives a shit about this country, is an actual constitutionalist, and is not for putting people that are anti-gunners in positions of power that could affect our country's future for decades to come. So, anyway, till later. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.